back to Cyrus Ware Presents. I'm about to connect with our family on Amazon Live with our next guest as we're continuing our Black Friday deals and conversations. Excited to have a 2-for-1 with this next one. He has a great product that's available on Amazon. You see, I have mine on here, the All Sports Headgear. I'm talking about the one and only Robert Helm. He's joining us again. So appreciate you guys being with us on Facebook, on Twitter, on LinkedIn, as well as on YouTube. We're about to bring in our Amazon Live family, but Robert, glad to have you back on with us, man.
Hey, thanks for having me back, man. I'm really excited. What a great time of the year to be here.
Yeah, man, it really is that. It really is a great time of the year. I'm gonna go ahead and make sure our settings are all set here on Facebook. Make sure we have everything tagged over on this
Okay.
side, and then we're gonna go ahead and get started. Okay.
Excellent. Thank you.
And for our audience, if you guys have any questions for Robert, he is not only an inventor, but he's also an author, entrepreneur. If you guys have any questions for him, feel free to be able to drop those in the chat. We will be checking the chat no matter what platform you guys are joining us on. Would love to be able to share those with him, as well as, of course, we'll be letting you guys know how you can get your own All Sports Headgear like I did right on Amazon. We have 4 great colors for you guys. So we're going to let you guys know how to be able to get that, as well as stay connected with his Facebook group that he has too. And we're back with Cyrus Webb Presents here on Amazon Live. Glad you all could join us once again. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb, as we're bringing you Black Friday deals and conversations today. Today, I'm excited to welcome Robert Ham to our program. He's the founder of All Sports Air Gear. We're going to go ahead and showcase it there in the profile there on Amazon Live. We have 4 great colors for you guys. We're going to talk to Robert not only about the product, but also what it's been like for him to be able to see the response to it. And of course, let you guys know the different ways that you can be able to wear your own All Sports Headgear. Robert, hello to you and welcome back to the program.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm glad to be back. As I said, man, what a great time of the year to be here.
It really is that. So I want to first of all, man, commend you on this because what I have always been so impressed with you, Robert, because even before your product was available on Amazon now for the world to be able just to go over and click it, you have been out there, man, not only being able to share this brand, but also to be able to share the movement that this brand has kind of built. What has it been like for you to see all the hard work paying off for you when it comes to All Sports Hair Gear?
Oh gosh, man. I actually was just saying the other day, we just received a large shipment of new inventory, and it was, me and my family basically, we had to basically receive the product and now warehouse it and just go through that whole process. And I stood back at one point and took pictures of my brother and my children and friends of the family, how we all come together and have been able to achieve, getting this product here and getting it situated. And that really was a great feeling, man, because all I really ever wanted to do was kind of establish a family business. And so it was manifested in front of me. So I would say it's making me feel great, and it made me feel great for that in particular situation. So.
Well, as I mentioned, there are 4 colors that are available on Amazon.com right now. I have the red one there that is actually highlighted right now because that's the one that you have on there. So I want to talk about the inspiration because for those who don't know the story, I think stories are so important, Robert, when people are finding out about brands like All Sports Headgear. How did this all start?
Well, it all started in the kitchen. As many things, cooks in the kitchen. Actually, I was watching videos with a friend and just chit chatting, and we were watching, YouTube videos of, playoff games, I believe it was. But anyway, Steph Curry, I happened to see him out the corner of my eye, put a towel over his head and kind of wear it, I would say with swagger, if you will. And, it just kind of clicked in my mind. I'm an athlete anyway. I used to be an athlete when I was younger. And so I could kind of relate to that. And, one thing led to the next. And I was just like, man, what if there was something made, kind of to really wear on your head instead of you modifying it, and kind of making it fit funny, if you will. And, I had one of my best friends was there with me who happened to be a boxer and, athlete. And Lord behold, he's also a seamstress, and so this idea that I was coming up with, I kind of drew it on an old towel, man, and he cut it out and sewed it together. And next thing you know, we had this prototype, if you will, that was like, we realized that we looked at it together. He put it on, I put it on, and we looked at it and was like, oh my goodness, man, this is going to be something amazing, because the idea was to dry sweat. But when we saw how fashionable, as you can see, it's got many different ways it can be worn. And so it's been, man, I've just been constantly discovering great ways to wear it and utilize it. And so anyway, that's how it started, so.
Well, I can say, as it has gotten a little colder here today in Mississippi, it's definitely felt good on my neck.
Yes.
It definitely is warm. So let's talk about this, because there are. I'm gonna go ahead and take mine off here, Robert, so we can walk through some of the components that I want our audience to be able to really take note of. First of all, it does have a hood that's there. They can see that. And then, of course, talk to us about what looks like the wings here, the flaps. Well, what is that from the wiping of the sweat?
Yes. Well, it serves actually two purposes. One, you certainly can use it to wipe your sweat, like, while, so that way you can kind of have your towel on while you're remaining active. But the other thing it does is it helps, in the event, as you stated earlier, if you want to turn it into a hood, then, like, let's say the sweater. I had mine on just a moment ago, just tied, with a Windsor knot, if you will. And I do that because partly that holds it in place, but it also gives it a nice fashionable look when you're, when you want to wear it. But those sweaters come in handy for that purpose, but it also is handy for when you want to turn any shirt, or, be it a long sleeve shirt or a t-shirt or anything, you can easily turn it into a hoodie that you can wear up, down, just like, pretty much any other hoodie that you would want to wear, So I like that. I like also the flaps make it easy so you can pull it on and off. So it's like wearing a shirt or a hoodie without really wearing a shirt or a hoodie. And so it provides you that benefit. So that's really the purpose for the flaps, is to give you the ability to wipe yourself, but also to keep it on when you, put it on underneath something.
Right.
And, as I said, the Windsor knot, man, I really like it because it throws people for a loop. They say, well, it's just a towel. It's just a towel. So, well, how many towels can you take and cross it over just like that? And cross it over again just like that. And then all you have to do is tuck it in the back, right underneath, and it's done. And from there, you can keep it in place. You can wear it up, just like if you still wanted to do this and it still stays stylish and in place. Or you can let it down and wear it just like, back in the day, you see the guys that used to wear the tennis sweaters and they wrap them around and tie them tie them around the waist.
Nice. Well, I like it.
Yeah, you have the same ability because, depending on your waist size anyway, and we do have these now in multiple sizes. You can also use these to tie it around your waist. So if you were at the beach and you wanted to take it off, you could tie it around your waist and not wear it, or put it inside the carrying case that we now have as well. So
awesome. Well, again, this is, one of those things, Robert, that the reason I said earlier, the 2-for-1. Mm-hmm. Typically what happens is I have a guest that comes on, they're talking with us about something, but it's not something they actually created, right? I mean, you are a person who's been able to create something, and now you have it on Amazon. Mm-hmm. I mean, the largest online retailer. I mean, do you still have those wow moments about how it went from that design that you talked about to now being available here on Black Friday for shoppers around the world to appreciate it?
I have to say I am very, very happy, man. I am. My the way I'm going into this, I actually had a realization because I've been applying for becoming a vendor for a lot of major, companies like Myers and, Walmart, Under Armour, places like that. And one of the things when you have to submit or when you register for these different business venues that they're part of, it asks like, what other retailers are you, on or selling through? And Amazon was never there before. And now when I go and see, Amazon is like the first, well, it's A for one, but it's the top, it's the first one that comes up. What retailers do you sell? So they recognize Amazon as more than an online store, I'm sure, in that regard, because no other online store is listed there. So So I'm very, very excited, man. And the more that this product gets out there and the more opportunities that we've had to share it and also see people's feedback, because I've been looking at the feedback on Amazon now, and I'm very happy to see that people are benefiting from it, man, because people do initially think it's just a towel, but about it, like you said, the more you get used to wearing it and, you put it on for the cold when it's cold or when you're hot, hey, got an ice pack, put it right inside the back here. And I just had someone call me the other day, actually, text me and tell me that, have you ever thought about putting ice in the pocket or anything like that? Because I have pain in my neck and in my back. And I said, oh, there we go. There's the picture. Sorry.
Yeah.
But, here we are. We got an ice pack you can easily put right there, or you can put an ice pack easily in the neck. Those are some of the benefits that are really helpful because, again, if it's aches and pains, you got hot or you got the cold as an option. You know what I mean? So it's it's more than a towel. I'll just say it's a towel, but it's definitely more than a towel.
Right. And so I want to talk about that aspect of it because you're right. And I'm glad you showed there's different components there because there's a lot of attention to detail that goes into this. It's not just something that's available for people to put on their head. Right. It really is something that some thought went into. And you've been able to really diversify this. Now, at this particular time that we're having this conversation live, there's only 4 of them here on Amazon, but there are others I've noticed you also playing with. Do you find yourself always thinking, okay, what if we did this? Or what if we had it this way? Is that something that always goes through your mind?
It does, not just because of our own ingenuity, but many customers, have had suggestions. They say, man, this is a great idea. You should think about, making it like a self-contained pouch or something so it rolls up into, like they come up with some of these really fabulous ideas. Some of them, we've integrated into our new generation of products. And others we have just, been like, man, it might take some time to be able to integrate that, and develop that, or, for a new generation of products. But certainly something that, we continue to get excited about what we have as people discover it, because, we've had a lot of a lot of customers buy it, but there's a whole world of people who still haven't discovered the All Sports yet and how many different ways it can be utilized. And so the more that happens, I'm sure that it's going to create a situation that the excitement will continue to grow,
Yeah, I totally agree with that. And we're excited. You guys keep an eye on Amazon here in a week or so. We have our visionary issue of the magazine will be available on Amazon, both in print and Kindle. And you'll notice a familiar face on the cover of that issue because we really wanted to spotlight him as we're going, because it was my purpose, especially this year since we've been working together, Robert, is to really let people know what's possible. And I think it all begins with an idea. Like you said, you seeing that athlete doing something, and that sparks something in you.
Right.
And that a lot of times, unfortunately, people have an idea and then they let it go. Deborah, I see you. Thank you so much for the kind words. Appreciate that. Love your energy as well. Glad you're watching us over there on Facebook. I want to ask you, where does that come from, Robert? Because not everybody, and I've had to learn this too. Not everyone is going to create something, right? Not everyone is going to build something. What is it, do you think, is that something you've always had, this ability to want to create and want to be able to build something new?
When I think about it, man, it's, or I should say, Cyrus, excuse me. There's many things that make me feel like I've always been creative because, I come up in a situation where we didn't have a whole lot all the time, and sometimes that might be toys, that might be a bike or what have you. And so, you kind of have to make do with what you got, or if you find pieces and parts, try to make what you want. So I kind of been doing that all my life. But as an adult, I became more interested in, actually taking ideas and turning them into like physical concepts, because I got involved in the service industry, heating and air conditioning in particular. And, when I would encounter problems, there's always like the right tool for the job. Does that make sense?
Right.
And sometimes the right tool hasn't been discovered yet, if that makes sense. And so that's kind of like the little gap that I try to fit into, is there's things that exist, but there's certain things that could be done better. And in the case of the AllSport, that's how I feel. It's a towel. I mean, you can use it just to wipe yourself. You can wipe the floor. You can do what have you, or you can use it to add some swag to your fashion profile, or you
Yeah.
can use it to exercise in, or whatever it is you might want to do. So
Yeah. And I was just thinking, I was looking at myself, since Cyrus, you need to put this in your next photo shoot. Because I'm liking this blue and black.
yeah, yeah.
But I think too, you mentioned something earlier, and you when you said it, I said, I want to make sure I go back around to this.
Mhm.
You mentioned about the new shipment coming in, Robert, and being able to enjoy that with your family. What does that feel like for them to be able to literally see how this vision has come to life?
Well, I'll be honest with you. I cried, man, honestly, because for me, it really means a lot to bring family together to do things,
Right.
And my oldest is 21, or well, almost 21 now.
Mhm.
Um, and having 5 children, and my wife, she worked in a different town for a long time. We didn't really get to be a full family like we always, we accustomed to. And
Right.
so, so us seeing them to being able to do that, man, was huge for me. It really made me feel good.
I know, and that's why I wanted to bring that up because I think there has to be great satisfaction in that, knowing that here you are working, but you're working for something that's yours, you
Right.
know, and that there's no greater power, I would think, than that. You're working hard, kind of like how I feel, but you're working hard for something that is yours, so you're able to see the fruit of that. I want to say for those who are just tuning in, I see you guys coming in there on Amazon Live. Appreciate you. Those joining us on Facebook, on Twitter. Appreciate you guys over there on Twitter. Make sure you guys are also following Robert. We're going to remind you guys, we have him tagged there on Twitter. So appreciate you guys streaming us there as well as those on YouTube. You are watching Black Friday deals and conversations. This is part of our actually Black Friday deals and conversations here with Robert Helm. He is the founder of All Sports Headgear. You see, I'm rocking mine here, the blue one. He has the red one that's on. There's 4 colors that are available on Amazon.com. This is his product. He was just sharing with us how it all came about. But you guys can get yours today for only $19.95. So I want to talk about again the design there for you, Robert, because again we were going through the functionality. We were talking about, of course, as you said, they can use it to wipe their face. There's that. There's also, of course, the hood. Definitely helps them in this time of the year with the weather. A nice functionality there. What about the tail in the back? Was that meant to, like I have mine tucked in the back? Is that kind of what it's meant for, or what kind of went into that part of the design?
Well, that part of the design again was meant to make it fashionable,
Okay.
and then also functional, because the areas, if you notice, like if you are doing some type of fitness type of exercise, or maybe mowing the lawn or something rigorous that causes you to sweat, you
Mhm.
tend to sweat for guys anyway. And I'm not sure about women, but I would, most guys sweat right down the middle of their chest and right down the middle of their back. And so that runs right down the center of the back, kind of
Yeah.
starts and gets narrow as it gets closer to the bottom. And so
Mhm.
it's, that's part of it. It was designed to, again, catch that sweat to keep your shirt. Because again, if you wear the All Sports underneath your shirt in that type of situation, the real nice thing about it for me, when I played basketball a lot, especially like we would go to different places, a lot of times it's cold, when because during basketball season, you might come out or practice, it might be 40, 50 degrees. And you're always bundling up, especially the neck area, trying to stay,
Mhm.
keep that cold off your neck. Well, it's designed to do just that. So that piece going down the back, it covers the neck all the way down, so into the base of the shirt, so you don't have any air at all touching your neck or back all the way around. So, again, it's got a lot of purpose as far as simplistic design.
Love it, love it. Well, I tell you, it definitely makes it something that is fun to be able to wear and affordable as well. I think that's the other big thing I want people to know. This is $19.95. So you're able to get something that has a lot of different functionalities to it. As you guys saw with Roberts, there are the pockets that are there in the neck area, as well as one beneath that you can be able to put like an ice pack in, as you saw he did. Also, I was thinking, Robert, and I think you even shared it in a picture or a video. People can put their keys. I mean, so there's a lot of different ways you could be able to use it. So, I mean, I have to ask you then about as you kind of look forward. I mean, what do you see? How do you see being able to use Amazon to be able to grow the product, either whether we're talking about in different colors or in different styles?
I definitely plan to continue to add more products. As you said earlier, and I said as well, we did get a new shipment of product in generation 2. We have, 10 more colors.
Oh,
We
wow.
have made modifications to the product so that all of the seams around have a really nice finish, so there's no fraying of the material. We have a flap now that covers one thing we haven't discussed yet is this wonderful hole that exists inside the hood. I don't know if you can see me looking at you there,
Uh
but
huh.
this hole is designed. I mean, you and I can't really benefit from it a whole lot, but
Right.
individuals who have long hair can. Um, and I was just talking to a wonderful lady about that who says, "Oh, I never had that problem." And she held such a straight face that I thought she was serious, And I was like, "Oh, well, I guess maybe everybody don't deal with that problem." And then
Yeah.
she kind of cracked a smile. She was like, "No, I deal with it pretty frequently, but when she gets
Mhm.
out the shower, they braid their hair to try to help it dry,
Right.
and that braid comes right through this opening,
Okay.
just nicely. It comes right through and lays right on the back of this AllSports, so it just lets it air dry real nice. And then the front flaps that you asked about earlier about wiping your sweat, it's also really great for wiping makeup. So when you're up in the morning and you're doing your makeup, you got something that you can put around you and protect your clothes so you don't get the makeup on your clothes. Something
Mhm.
that helps keep the hair when you're combing out your hair from getting on your clothes. And I know a lot of people deal with that. And then
Right.
for us guys, when we put on the all sport, and I've actually tried this a few times, and I did a video, and I thought it was like something interesting because I hadn't realized it. But when I tie this clothes and I have a nice tie like that, or if I bring it down and then tie it tight like this, what I'm able to do is actually shave, man, and not get the hair on my clothes. So if I had to do a quick shave job at the airport or something, I got a
Yeah.
quick little apron I can throw around, shave real quick, take it off,
Wow.
and it's done and over. And roll it up, put it in his carrying pouch, and now I got a pillow I can lay on, and so we've really taken this simple product and turned it into again a multifunctional product that has a lot of functions. It really does.
Yeah. So this is really interesting. So, I mean, just hearing you talk about it, man, it's like, okay, so, okay, one thing we need to talk about, and then we're going to let our audience know again how they can stay connected with you, Robert. Again, I want to walk our audience through what they see here. As I mentioned, there are 4 colors that are currently on Amazon you guys can get right now. So you can definitely take advantage of that. They're $19.95. The reviews are already coming in for the product there. Another thing we have not talked about, and this is going to be a concern of a lot of people because of the different things you're mentioning here, Robert,
Mhm.
is care. How is it cared for? How do you wash it? What are
Mhm.
the preferred ways there?
Well, I treat it just like a towel, honestly. What I kind of envision is, people who are like really fashion oriented, like if they buying it for purely the fashion element, um, those would be people who probably wash it less frequently, but to try to keep it like, what I mean, clean, if you will.
Right.
But me, I just use mine like a regular towel, man. When I use it, because I'm more for the general purpose, I use it because I'm bald headed, so I really use it a lot to stay warm. Um, and so I just put it in, with the towels. I wash it with the towels, and the only issue would be like with any terry cloth, if you're washing it in hot water a lot, it's probably going to start to slowly lose its color.
Okay.
But as far as the quality of the material, the quality of the dye of the material, and that it meets the quality of any towel that you would buy from any of your favorite stores.
Okay.
And it's just heavy. It really holds out the air, so it's really high quality terry cloth, much better than what most people expect for a towel. So
Gotcha. And I have to ask you this because I'm a big dryer guy. Should it be put in the dryer? Or should it be air dried?
I throw it right in with right in the towel. I mean, excuse me, right with the towels into the dryer.
Okay.
So I would just say that, and I've been using mine over and over and over and over again, and so they get a frequent washing and frequent drying. And so I would say if you're trying to keep it, like keep the color is brilliant, if you will. You might want to wash it in cold water, maybe by itself, and then maybe just let it dry. But honestly, I haven't had a lot of problems. I actually haven't had any problems with it bleeding, to be honest with you. So I just haven't had that. The only issues that I've heard is for the white all sports is that the white absorbs color. So if you got other things that bleed, that's the only thing. So it will, it will capture that. But other than that, I haven't had any issues.
All right. Again, everyone, Robert Helm, the founder of All Sports Headgear. You see, I have mine on here. They have 4 colors. They're available right now on Amazon. We're going to go ahead and tick through those there. Robert has the red one that's there, but you can see the other colors that's there as well. Again, $19.95 at the time we're having this conversation. A lot of different functionality, very stylish. Again, Robert, don't be surprised if you see this in one of my photo shoots, man, because I've some ideas now I had not thought about. And I think that's one of the great things about something like this, that you can really use it to match your personality, but also keep the functionality. I like that.
Right.
Yeah. Match your personality with functionality. I like that.
I like that. There you go. Hey, that might be the next slogan right there.
So, Robert, how can they stay connected with you, man?
Well, if you are on any of the major social networks, you can find us as All Sports Headgear or All Sports Athletic Apparel. That would be on Facebook. That would be on LinkedIn. That would be on Twitter. That would also be on TikTok and Instagram. There you go. I'm old, man. I'm trying to get caught up. But yep. So All Sports Headgear, one word, or All Sports Athletic Apparel. So.
All right, Robert. Congratulations to you again, man. Always a pleasure catching up with you. The time just flies, but there's so much. See, we could talk forever, man, because there's so much to talk about. I think from the business standpoint of how you got here, but I think now to have the product available here on Amazon for us to have this conversation, man, really remarkable. Again, my hat's off to you. Congratulations, and looking forward to speaking with you again, man.
Thank you so much, Cyrus. Webb, this has been awesome, man, and I look forward to it.
All right, and we thank your audience for tuning in to another great segment of Cyrus Webb Presents. Also, stay tuned. There is more Black Friday deals and conversations headed your way at the top of the next hour. Until then, I'm your host, Cyrus Webb, saying as always, enjoy your time. We'll be back with y'all real soon. Take care.
Bye-bye.